Hello, American Africans, my family. It is an honor to speak with you all today about why we need to primary Jim Clyburn from South Carolina District 6. Now, I want to preface my message today by saying I am not claiming to be a political analyst, nor am I claiming to be a political commentator or political strategist. I'm an American African DOS who is deeply involved and extremely concerned about the state of our people, and that includes our position within this country regarding the governance of our people. Now, the government directly affects us every single day. So when Jim Clyburn endorsed Joe Biden on February 26, that should have been the last straw for us. Clyburn's voting record has been, well, it's not been primarily for us, it's been for other people. So he seems to be a staunch advocate for other groups. So we're talking pro-immigration, pro-undocumented immigrants, pro whatever, you name it. If it involves other groups of people, then he seems to be voting yes on these policies. And these are policies that directly impact us, American Africans in this country, the United States of America, the country our ancestors built. So we have the American Dream and Promise Act of 2019. This was a bill that allowed undocumented immigrants to have permanent stay here in this country. And then you had the Border Security and Immigration Reform Act of 2018, which also was another immigration bill, and it was going to also be used to provide funds for the border wall. He voted no on that, of course. And then there was the Securing America's Futures Act of 2018, which also focused on immigration and national security and also included border wall funding. So he voted no on those. So he voted no on the last two, but he voted yes on the first one, which was allowing just basically undocumented immigrants permanent stay. Now, to be clear, this message in his voting, bringing up his voting record, I'm not trying to, by any means, in any way, dismiss or put down or show any ill will towards immigrants. That's not what we're doing here. I mean, we can have the broader conversation about America's history and also globalization, right? And labor exploitation, and capitalism, diminishing resources, and the false sense of scarcity. I mean, we can go through all of those issues, but that's a lot of work. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to hone in on what directly affects us, our group, our people, right here and right now. So, and unfortunately, there are some conflicting and overlapping issues that are exploitative. So we can't avoid that, but that's just where we're living right now, again, at this point in time in history. So we have to do what we can do for the moment in time. And in time, right now, our people are the majority of the homeless population in this country. Our people are the majority of the ones that are living on the streets. We're dying in prison facilities because of neglect. We're the ones being brutally beat down by police, right? We're the ones that are massively unemployed at high numbers for this reason or that, mostly obviously for systemic racism. Now, these and more issues are what we face as a people in this country. And our issues need to be taken care of first and foremost, period, because other groups, their issues are addressed when they get together and they invest their own time, energy, and effort into building up their own coalitions to tackle their group's interests, right? But since we're at the bottom of the totem pole, our issues go largely ignored for the most part, meaning our livelihood is not a priority in this country. Our other groups' livelihoods are put above us, right? We're no longer important, okay? So we're treated as such. So, and this man on your screen right now, he is particularly and partially, because there's other factors, obviously, like we mentioned, to blame for this situation with regard to what he's voting for in his voting record. And I've actually included a link below in the description box so you can view his voting record for yourselves. So for Clyburn to endorse Jim Crow Joe, the author of the crime bill, the man who said all criminals should be thrown in jail regardless of their background, the man who said he didn't care about the injustices that happened over 300 years ago, we all know he was referring to us and our specific group's plight. We'd all know that. For Clyburn to endorse this, what's looking to be a Manchurian candidate, okay, is enough for us to say, it's time for him to go. And truth be told, it was time for him to go a while ago, but now that a lot of us are waking up, we can take action as a collective group to make this happen. And getting him out of this position of power, because make no mistake, this is a position of power. This is twofold strategy for us, okay? It sends, number one, it sends a message to the Democratic establishment that Clyburn does not speak for us. And number two, it shows that we are a force to be reckoned with and that our voice will be heard and will no longer be ignored. Understand that a Joe Biden endorsement, especially right now with the way it just makes us look very weak and powerless and defeated and ineffective. And, that we would vote for this enemy en masse the way we have, it just shows how ignorant we are right now as a people. We are being used as pawns in this intricate game of power that they're playing without us. Okay, so we're the group that kickstarted Biden's momentum, whatever they're calling it, in this presidential race. We did this. We should be embarrassed. I know I am. And that's because our people are not informed enough about this man's treacherous record. But this momentum that, that occurred, it was kicked off by none other than this man that you see on your screen. So we replaced Clyburn with one of our own, and that will catapult us into the position of power where we need to be. It'll be a position we've never been in before. It'll be uncharted territory for us, but we welcome the challenge. Clyburn does not care about us. He's got his coins. He's good to go. So you can see that too when you see the entire media apparatus talking about Kingmaker Jim Clyburn, like he's some sort of anointed god. That's when we as a people, we must step up and say, no, this man does not represent us. He represents the older Black folks who no longer give a damn about us. And also he represents the uninformed. And, to be honest, many of these people, sorry to say it, but they are a lost cause and we need to let them go. Others, we can save them. We just need to re-educate them. And that's where we need to put in the work to do so. Now, there are enough of us to do this, to educate our people en masse. We can do this. And doing this will show that we are a powerful force, and will also show that we have authority and the capability to take down a quote unquote kingmaker. But family, it is up to us to do this together, because we are the future of our people, and our ability to take control over our own governance starts with this action right here. The decisions that we make will decide the fate of our future generations. And I hate to sound hyperbolic when I say this, but it is the truth, okay? There's too much at stake this year, and we must take advantage of every single opportunity that comes our way to allow us a win for our team. And you need to understand and know when to sit out and sit back, to know that that action in and of itself is just as important as knowing when to step up and step into your role, into your position. We cannot sit this one out, family. We need to take action collectively as a group, as one cohesive unit. And let's be clear about this political strategy. This is not a reactive move. We're not waiting for some Democratic politician to come to us and offer us something first, like certain leaders have suggested. No, this is a preemptive strike. Okay, this is to show force at a time where we need to demonstrate exactly what we're capable of. This is how we'll be taken seriously. This is how we will get our voice heard. This is how we will not be ignored, and this is how we will get our demands met. Because we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep taking actions just like this that show ultimate force. And eventually this will set us up for a win-win scenario come the November election. And as a final note, we need to stop being a reactive people. We need to step up our game and become more proactive in how we move, especially with regard to removing this man from office. And that means, yes, we need to have an American African DOS, one of us, ready to replace him. Who that person is, I do not know, but I do know that that person must be politically educated, because when the establishment comes around with their checkbook, we need our representative to say, I'm not compromising my people for any dollar amount. Now, it may take us some time to find this person, but it'll be well worth the wait. And in the meantime, we need to educate our people, politically educate our people. And I would say in the southern states, like Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, these are the high Black population. And unfortunately, they're part of the ones who are most uninformed about the political landscape and the dire situation that our people are in as a whole. So we needed this full education tour en masse, on a massive level. So, but we can talk about that. But for now, we need to replace him, and that is our number one priority. But when you think about it, it kind of, both objectives overlap. Educating our people and getting him out because they will know why he needs to be replaced. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So if you, listener, family, if you know someone who would be an apropos replacement for Jim Clyburn's congressional seat, email us at info@americanafricandos.com and let us know. And if you're not already following us on Twitter, make sure you do. We're also on Instagram. So make sure you stay connected with us so that you're in the know about all topics related to our people's progress. And that wraps up today's message. I want to thank each and every one of you. I appreciate your time, and I hope today's message uplifts, inspires, and elevates you. Goodbye, family.